Rainn, who is it?
Well, look who's here if it isn't AD. Welcome to our house.
Hi, AD.
Today we are rating Emmy-nominated actor, former bed and breakfast owner, beet farmer, and highly successful paper salesman Rainn Wilson, Southern California farmhouse featured on Architectural Digest.
My wife and I have lived for the last 12 or 13 years in suburban LA, but we wanted to get even further out of LA. We wanted to be a little closer to the ocean, and then we discovered this place and fell in love with it.
Before this home, Rainn and Holiday owned a smaller farm in Agora Hills that they listed in 2020 for $1.7 million. It was a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom property, but then decided to upgrade to this larger 5.5-acre estate just outside of Los Angeles that same year for around $3.8 million.
Original owners who built the place in 1975 brought up from Mexico to create this kind of Spanish mission style. Is beautiful.
So the original owners worked with Alfred Gilman when designing this house. Now, that name might not ring any bells, but Alfred Gilman was actually an understudy, an associate of probably the most famous architect of all time, in Frank Lloyd Wright. Well, Alfred eventually branched out his own and designed numerous homes all throughout Southern California. I believe there was actually one of his homes in Malibu that sold a few years ago for around $13 million. I'll try to find it and a few other projects he worked on and link them in the show notes. Or if I forget, just Google them. I'm sure they'll come up.
As lovely as this house is, it had a lot of features that were originally there from 1975. So we needed to kind of gut the kitchen and make it more modern and more roomy.
It's always a challenge when you're renovating a home where you've got a lot of original characters and detail you're trying to preserve, while at the same time transitioning to make it functional for modern living. I think they found a decent balance with this kitchen, although I'm not crazy about the 2-story vent hood, but other than that, pretty good with it.
This is our incredible patio. And fun fact, one of my very favorite possessions I've ever owned is this table, which was handmade and crafted by none other than Nick Offerman.
For those of you who don't know, Nick Offerman is Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation.
We used to be old actor friends, kind of going up against each other for kind of character roles. We hired him to build this table, and he's a master woodworker and craftsman.
If Nick really has the ability to build a joiner table in real life, that's impressive. That's pretty elite casting by the Parks and Rec team.
Entryway to the living room. There are incredible details like this throughout the house that they just wouldn't do in contemporary homes.
Like I mentioned earlier, Alfred Gilman drew this house. Well, he was best known for his Spanish colonial style, and this whole house is a perfect reflection of that hacienda-inspired architecture he specialized in. Today, most people like the style just for the look, but the original Spanish settlers needed to design their homes with the actual surrounding environment in mind. They didn't have the luxury of today's technology, where you can really build any style in any location. Today, I can build you an English Tudor in Texas or a Nantucket cottage in California, but back in the day, when the original Spanish built in southwestern climates, nothing was more ideal than a thick white stucco wall. During the day, it retains cool air, and then at night, it'll release warmth back into the home. Also today, because of air conditioning, you can have full walls of doors and windows, but traditional Spanish homes would have a few small windows, so you get a cross breeze to come in without much direct sunlight. So we touched on the doors, the windows, the stucco, the roof. The clay tile roof might be the most iconic element of a Spanish colonial home, and then you've got the exposed wooden beams, the rounded archways, these exterior or interior courtyards. This house checks a lot of the boxes. Their furniture is not my favorite, but I love the house itself. This is going to be a high score.
So this is my favorite part of the tour, and I have Toasty O's with me because we're going down to see the pigs. We just finished construction on their barn.
I don't know about you guys, but I love the fact that the real-life Dwight Schrute actually lives on a farm. Just like Ron Swanson with Parks and Rec, Rainn was perfect for the role. Well, actually, Rainn originally auditioned for the role of Michael Scott, and Seth Rogen and Jim Gaffigan auditioned for Dwight Schrute, but the casting team moved Rainn to the Dwight role, Steve Carell to the Michael Scott role, and 5 Emmy Awards later, the rest is history. Just like this house. A lot of history, the architecture, the tiles, the doors imported from Mexico, over 5 acres with a view. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's go with an 8.4 stars of the score. This was very unexpected in a good way. I wonder who else from The Office has a good house. I'll need to look that up. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bath time, clip time.
Some feeding.
This was
So
fun.
long.
Thanks for coming. See you later.